How you doing? This is Tenacious Earl, and it's Saturday night, and it is hot in the house. It is blazing hot in most of the areas on the eastern seaboard, and I am in my basement, and we're going to do a video. So, this is going to be the first 3 rounds of one of the majors on the Tenacious Golf Tour, the Championship of the United Kingdom. I haven't really prepped at all for this. So, you know, after seeing a video this week, I was watching a video, and my impression is that we just basically get on here and do gratuitous stuff that nobody knows about it anyway and it doesn't understand. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to kind of like go through here. Maybe I don't even understand. I think I do, but you just never know because, you know, we kind of, you know, just go out and do this stuff willy-nilly and, you know, don't necessarily intend for anybody to, you know, be entertained or to learn anything by these videos. It sounds like. Anyway. I guess that's where I'll leave it. So, what am I going to do here? Well, there's a lot of stuff I actually have to do. And like I said, I haven't done any prep work here. So, you know, I'm just trying to do things in a very like haphazard, not very useful to you method, because it sounds like that's kind of what the impression is that most of us do anyway. So anyway, but we'll get through this. It might take me it'll take me an hour, which is good. We have an hour of time. I've got all night, and it's cooler down here than it is upstairs. So you know, I'm going in here into my you know, stuff here, and you know, yeah, I'm not gonna go in. I'm not gonna say that. It's okay. Whatever. So we've got season 3. This is season 3 of the Tenacious Golf Tour, the golf world, if you will. So we got 2 tours. I still have a Slacker Tour event that I haven't run yet. Will eventually. All right, so let's just get it up here because you know, I'm just like, you know, I am currently brain dead right here. So I'm just gonna come in here. What's the next tournament? Oh, it's the Championship of the UK. Oh, that's right. It's all that stuff that I put up there. I'd already said that. Sorry. I guess I just, you know, I'm just making sure that it's clear that, you know, I'm trying my best to haphazardly do this. So I got my events folder here, and we're gonna do twosomes or threesomes. Let's do threesomes. So I'm going to make a copy of this guy here. I'm going to make a copy of it. So why would I do that? Well, this is how I spawn off from the templates, these tournaments. So I'm going to rename it. What are we going to rename it? Let's see. So if I look down here, 23 was the Classic Bank Open. So I think next is 24, if I'm using my brain right. 24. And Championship. See? I can't even spell. Of the UK. Woohoo. Alright. Let's take a look. Well, let's open it first, so we get it open here. Because I'm going to have to open it anyway. So, here we go. This is our little an ever-evolving system that works like 99% of the time, but a couple of things. So I got to click on this because it's trying to pull from a reference that it hasn't yet made. And things are going really slow because my computer is probably overheating because it's so hot, and because I'm trying to do 5 things on this PC. Like, run a camera, stream to YouTube, run a spreadsheet that's basically live data, blah blah blah. I'm probably boring you, but maybe not. Let's allow access to this one too. So those should both come up with like either authorized or just blank. They should be blank there. This should be a special tournament. It's a major. I am going to go back in here in just a second. Well, yeah, there's authorized. It's going to take a second. Let's go back into. Oh, where can I find it? Where can I find what I planned out? There should be a season 3 document here somewhere. Maybe it's under various files. If I'm lucky, it's under here. Player usage, season 3. Let's take a look. It might be in here. Could be. So hope y'all are having a great Saturday. I've been watching the PGA Championship. I've been watching the Preakness. Little bit of a buzzkill because the Kentucky Derby winner, Rich Strike, wasn't entered into the Preakness, so there's no chance at a Triple Crown. And then apologies if you are recording it and want to watch it later. Spoiler. Again, the favorite, laid an egg, did come in second, but, there's a fly. Did I get him? I don't know. Anyway, A tier, top 156. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 156 out of, so that's what I was just looking for. What do we do for this format? We take the top 156. So, how am I going to do that? Alright, so we're authorized here. That's good. Let me see something. This is if that's yes. Okay, let's just go ahead and copy these. Copy, paste values. So what I'm doing here, these are random number generators. This is how I come up with the target scores, and hopefully, so here's the deal. Being a little facetious earlier in the video. Actually, this is not. There are some little homebrew type elements to this stuff. It's pretty much following History Maker Golf's tournament mode. I'm being facetious earlier. With these videos, to me, I would recommend somebody who's watching these. I'm hoping that you've already purchased the game and have at least a rudimentary idea of how the game works. And especially tournament mode. I'll do my best to walk you through it in this process. It's not easy to do, as was pointed out in a video that somebody made. We try to do the best we can. It's really a kind of a loaded situation. For one thing, because frankly, cards and dice are they lack a certain I don't know. Even the computer games, like the computer baseball sims. I think if you run a live stream, people watch. But anyway, that's going off a little more than I'd like to. But I'm just saying, like, I make these because I like to. I'm trying to establish a precedent that people are going to follow through with things that they do, and maybe in the process something will come up, and you're welcome, more than welcome to leave a comment. Please comment if you have questions about this. I know the questions may number like 172 or something. I don't know. I'll do the best I can. If you could narrow it down to one or two questions that are like really troubling you or having a struggle when you're trying any of this stuff, by all means, drop it in there. I will do my best to answer it for you. But, you know, we do the best we can. So, what's here? Well, first I got to go over to my tourney recap sheet because I have to set this as Tournament 24. Not 23, 24. There we go. Alright, so this should load things in there. And it loaded up Classic Bank because, there we go. It just takes, there's a little bit of a lag there. So 156 field. Tier is M for major. Par 70, I've already loaded in the pars for each of the holes. You can see them here. We've got a par 5 on each side, 2 par 3s on each side. That's basically your normal formula for a 70 par course. Major course tends to be dropping a couple of the longer holes to par 4 to add to the difficulty. So that's that. Alright, so now what? So you could see here the target score is going to be 268, the cut's going to be 142. The target is calculated from the one chart that is the tourney mode chart. Again, you do. Again, that part of it is homebrewed, but in some ways, what I would recommend anybody doing for the first time is take the tournament that you're gonna kind of spawn off of. Let's say in real life, so like we're doing St. George's. I'd probably go to the last British Open that was at St. George's, Royal St. George's, and take what their final score was and just. You could either say that or you could develop your own little roll, which mine is a D6 and a decider die, and there's some little each, what the combination of the two. So in this case, it's a 4 and a 1 means that I adjust the value by a stroke less. So that's, you could do it your way. At some point here, I might post that. It might, let's see. Put special. I think that's the way I want to do this for my rest model, because this is going to be the top 156. So how are we going to do this? This is going to be a little disjointed. So again, I'm warning you, and I know this is not easy when you're trying to show people how to do something, and we will get to the final round where we actually play History Maker Golf, but this is tournament mode done in silico, let's say. It's on the computer. So I need my statistics. So we're going to bring those up. They're going to show up right here for you. Maybe. Okay, there we go. Nice. So we're going to use the top 156 in points. So we don't have multiple tours like we have in the real world, where it's like there's a Euro tour, or whatever they call it, DP World, and Asian, and there's a number of different tours. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the top 156, and in fact, we're going to have to also look and see what injuries we have and remove those players. So what I'm going to actually do is take about the top 164, let's say, out of this list. So I'm going to copy them. Control C or edit menu, copy. So I'm going to copy their names. So then what am I going to do from here? I'm going to go over to season 4. Sorry, I had a notification come up about the final round tee times of the PGA Championship. So, let's see. So when we do this, golfers, this is... I'm trying to remember where we get these guys from. Usually I would do this all behind the scenes, but, you might as well just have it be something that you guys can look at and just see the inner workings of the stuff. So this feeds my references, so it's exempt list. And let's see, 1C6. Is this 1C6? Sure is. Okay, good. So I'm going to hide this sheet again. Come over to our, what do we call this? Field registration? Field reg? Yeah, field registration right here. Excuse me. So I need exempt list. That's here. So what we're going to do is, what I want to find is all the guys in this. What we're going to do is we're going to paste values. Actually, we have to paste first. So Control V should paste all of those guys that I had. So that didn't work. Why not? That is because when you're porting between sheets, it doesn't like that. It won't let you do certain things. So what we need to do is come over here first and then paste this. That won't let me do it either. But what we can do now, what we need to do first is paste values. Paste values. Then I can copy the values, come over here. I'm going to have to remove that stuff later. And now I can paste here, and this should bring them all up. Good. All right, so now, what am I trying to do here? So if you can see, this is a priority ranking. So each golfer has a priority, kind of like an identifier for them. So what I want to be able to do is when I take it over into my tournament spreadsheet, it's going to pull out just the guys that are going to play. So let's build a VLOOKUP equals V lookup. Let's go if error. We're going to go VLOOK. So what that means is if this formula VLOOKUP will be N5 is going to be what we're looking for, the string we're looking for, and we need to do a little different tactic here. For some reason, I would have thought that I had done this before, but I didn't. So let's move this over here. Paste should still be in the memory. Yep. We're gonna go equals H5. Bang. So what we're doing there is we're just gonna move. So the VLOOKUP has to be horizontal, where what you're looking up is to the right of the item that you're searching on. So let's go again, equals if error. So the formula is going to be VLOOKUP, and now it's P5. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this range. It'll be I5, and we're going to go ahead and box in all the way down to the very, very end. And we need to do one little trick here, because this is gonna, we can run into problems if we don't do this. We have 280 golfers on the list here. Okay, so you see this, we need to have these be static references. So if we hit Control F4, that should, that's wrong, cancel. Maybe it's Alt F4. No. Then we're just going to manually put them in here. Usually, maybe it's because it's the function key. I have to do it on my keyboard on my. What we can do is we put the dollar symbols in front of the letter and then the number in these strings. So that what that says is we're going to check when I fill this down. The P5 is going to go to P6, P7, P8. So it's always going to change that, but it's not going to change where we're looking at. So this is, we have 5 columns here. So the third factor in this is the column 5. So we're trying to get the number in column 5 that is registered to column I, right? All right, and then we're going to go false, which why is false? It's because it's not in any kind of like alphabetical order. So when you put false, that means that you want to find the exact match, and it could be anywhere in the list. So make sure you find the exact match. Don't bring back basically half-assed data. So the last thing we have to do, we've built this formula. Now if it errors, we're going to leave essentially a blank. That's what you do, two quotation marks for the blank. And now if we hit the end parenthesis, that should bring up that Trent McAdams would be 7, and there he is. So now what we can do is we can take this cell here. Now if it's that thing, if it's a hand, if you try to drag that, it will move that down. Just move the whole cell, and you'll be left with nothing in the cell where it is. So what you want to do is you want to go from the pointer. You don't want to get that hand. You want to get this where it's like a bullseye, like crosshairs. This. Then what you can do is you can take that and you can drag this all the way down your list. And it should bring up the number of every player. There we go. Good. So now what we want to do, because this is a formula, we need to turn this into, this is annoying me. Why are you putting that up there? Okay. Again, we need to take copy, Control C. We're going to copy this list. Why are you not highlighting? Usually you do. Copy. There we go. We're going to come over here and we're going to paste it. Oh wait, no, I don't want to paste it. I did it again, didn't I? Paste values. So we go under this paste special values only, and now we can copy these. And now I've got to figure out where this is going to be my friend. And again, this is where usually I'd do this offline, and you guys, but I'm in a mood, and we're just gonna figure it out. If it's SP, so that's what. Oh, whoops. If it's SP, then we count if T300, if it equals 1, true, false. Okay, so I've got to open this up here, get to T. Column T is right here. What we're going to do is we're going to go, we're going to paste right in here. Oh, but it's T2, so we got to go back here and go, and then do, right here, we're going to paste those values. Let's see, does this light it up at all? AB4 is A. So AB4 is not A. Huh, why didn't you let's see. This should be filled with stuff. Why is this not? That's odd. That is super duper odd. Let's take a look. Let's look at another one. Oh, I remember why. I need to come in here and run a macro. Set priority. So that's on a whole other sheet here. I developed these things to help me, and then I don't remember. Alright, so I need to authorize this guy. Oh, I'm going to authorize myself. Well, sure, why not? Let's see, I am who I am. Yeah, I think I will. Now this should, hopefully this will Oh, you know what? I have to run it again because the first time you give yourself authorization, it doesn't run it. There we go. Little bits of fun behind the scenes doohickeys. So let's see. How many guys who is not in here? Sonny Lemons. How about that? He did not make the cut. Let's just double check. Find Sonny. Fine. No, don't find here. This sheet. Find. He's over here. Sonny Lemon says 19. There. Why? So why is he not showing up over here? That list says he's 28. That's interesting. All right. So where is our current points leaders? Is this it? I don't think so. Nope, that's not it. Actually, it might be golfers by rank. Might be this guy. See, she's taking a while here. This whole internet running books and stuff on here doesn't work so well. So let's get rid of that guy. That might help. It's getting caught up. Okay, here we go. So that's not there. Not there. So let's hide this sheet. We don't need that. Let's view golfer reference. Is it here? No. It's got to be golfer reference, actually. No, it doesn't. Let's get back to golfers by rank. Kanishi 2. Is that right? That's not what I want. This thing is really slow. Kanishi is 2, so why is it that we've got Sonny Lemons as 28? Ah, this is 5th exempt list. There you go. That's why. So let's do this right. I can hide this now. It was 5th exempt list, not exempt list. So that's where all went wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these guys here and it should be, if I copy it to the exact same place on this other chart, so copy that. What do we got here? This is P5. If we come over here to P5, see, I've already done it on this. Let's see, I did this for a different tournament here, right? Paste. All right. So we need to do the same thing here again. The numbers have changed. So we're going to do this copy, paste values. Control Shift V is also paste values. So now we can copy that guy. Come over here to the column where I pasted this stuff before. Right here. And let's paste it. And now Sonny should is Sonny there? Sonny Lemons. He is caught this time. Alright. Woohoo! Alright, so who do we have? Ethan McMillan isn't? Let's again this is why I do a lot of verification, because I want to make sure this sheet. I want to make sure that we catch any. Okay, he's over there. Over there. No more results. So he's not in that list. So we're good with that. Now, the other thing that we need to do is we need to find our TFNs and our injuries. So the injuries, hip injury, rib injury. So it's Celestino. So let's come over here. So where I can... So this I can come here. So Celestino is 73. So I'm going to come back over here and let's find 73. There it is. So we're going to take this one right out. Okay. So Celestino at 73 should now be unchecked. And he is. Other TFN was Garanch Chowdhury. I don't know if Garanch was in this. Probably not. Let's do this. I'm gonna highlight this column and do a find and replace. But I'm just gonna try and find Garanch. That's his name, right? I think it is. None. And let's double check the spelling. Yeah, we're good. And then any other injuries? No. That's all ended. So we're in good shape there. One other thing that I like to do is I like to double check. Okay, cool. Dwayne dropped in and talking about some NASCAR sim with the red, white, and blue. Another play game. That's pretty cool. Let's go into Slacker Tour here as well. Again, this is making things slow way down, but see, I'm at a course that I designed here. Second course I've designed. Peak and Peak. I haven't done this tour yet, or this tournament. Alright. Because this is a different tour, I run a second till further notice list. So it's taken a while. Drake Smoker, Jonathan Figueroa. I think Felipe Irwin as well. But let me see something. Felipe may actually be in that tournament. Through Highland Springs, so through 726. And the championship of the UK is so through this week. So yeah, so Irwin, if he's on this list here, let's go ahead and do another find and replace. Felipe, find. None. Okay, so that's, and I'm let's go ahead and do another quick one. Figueroa. Okay, we're good. We got him. Can close Slacker. Get out of here. Alright. I don't think we need the stats anymore. Now it's just a matter of getting this done. And I should get out History Maker Golf. I'll be right back. Hello, howdy. I have returned. I am back. I am back with... It's upside down. Tiger Woods withdraws from the PGA Championship. Yep. Not surprised. I think he's struggling. Trying. I guess... You know, it's taken a while for me to warm up to Tiger. You have to give him credit. He's trying. But, I gotta stand up for a minute. Sometimes this chair can get my legs to fall asleep, so I've got to try and, like, get the blood circulating again. Alright, so what are we at here? Let's kind of close these guys. Hide these columns. Helps to make things a little... Woof. And so what have we done? We've got all of the field. Well, let's see. Actually, I might need to reopen it. Do I have this set up to where it only gets the top 156? Let's hope. We're good. You can see that over here on this one. On the A column, it should only get the top 156. So we're good. Now what we need to do is I right now do a dice roll. I do all the dice rolls at once. I take these numbers, I copy, and then I paste values. So that's going to be all of our dice rolling for the cut to the 2 rounds, first 2 rounds, the cut, and then the 3rd round. So that's what we've already done here. And I said twosome, but I'm doing threesomes, so tough cookies. Okay, so now what? We're ready to rock and roll, and I'm hoping that my legs don't fall back asleep again. Got to figure out the best way to situate myself so I'm not going through that. Alright, so cut round. Is everything looking right? No. And why? Because I have to run another macro. Macros, paste values for cut. So this is going to do all of this. Is randomizes everything, and it should bring up, there we go, all of our tournament ratings for the players that are in our field. We are ready to go, and it is warm down here. My computer's kicking out BTUs like you wouldn't imagine. And so let's go through and do our first 3 rounds here. So actually first I'm going to take these off because I don't need to read for a second. The cut rounds. What do we do? How does tournament mode work? So you would typically you'd want to amass the cards that are in your field. Okay? In my case, I would have to go through, if I was doing with the cards and doing it the manual method, I would have to go through and set up. I would go through 10 each, like 1 through 10, and then 11 through 20, and then 21 through 30, on and on and on until I get to the top 156. I'd go through the piles, and I'd make piles of each of those guys. So that way I knew for sure had 156 golfers and the 156 that I wanted. That's how I would do it. Then what I would do is I would take all those golfers, 156, I'd shuffle them as the best as I could. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And then you split them into 2 piles. You pile them all up and then you split them into 2. One is the morning rounds, one is the afternoon rounds. And again, this is a little bit hypothetical because I think, I don't know, do the morning sometimes go in the after, like sometimes the morning will go on Thursday and then they'll move to the afternoon Friday, or vice versa. I don't know. So again, this is just, it's splitting the field, 2 piles. Then what you do is you could take those piles, like, because if you've already done a good job of shuffling, you wouldn't need to shuffle them again, but you could. Take the morning rounds, you break them into 8 piles, you try to make them relatively equal in size. You don't have to be exact, but you can if you want, but you don't really need to. In this case, we're going to be pretty exact. I have yet to do this where I've randomized this particular to put the extra golfer somewhere else or into certain piles. We're just doing it the way we can. I'm doing it the best way I can right now. So you break them into piles, then for each pile, and another thing, if you go to my earliest videos in this project, in the first 2 seasons especially, but really the first season, and then I kind of like wandered into this computer kind of automated tournament mode less and less. But if you really want to see me carry it out early and see the ups and downs of that, you can. But what we're going to do is we're going to take each pile, we're going to roll, okay? And if you've randomized your piles well by shuffling early, you can roll. And then when you get the roll, you look on this chart that's right here, tournament mode, in the first 2 rounds, and let's say in this case here it's 24. We look at 24, it is draw 2 golfers. So you could take the top 2 golfers off the pile, flip them over. They make the cut. So in our case here, I'm going to put my glasses back on. In our case, the way I flip these 2 over, because this is all randomized, I'm going to hit the M here for this guy and the M here for this guy. So those 2 are randomized golfers drawn. So it's going to be Bob Kleckner and Remington Ramirez. They make the cut. And then for the second part of that, so we drew 2, and now out of the rest, we take the top 2. And so we have to use the tournament rating to determine which 2 are the top 2. And we take ties. Okay? So first is the lower the number, the better. So a 1 beats a 2 beats a 3, a 3 beats a 4. Okay? So then you go A beats B beats C. So like 1A is the absolute best that you're going to get on any of these cards. Okay? So we're going to go through here. And so who's the top golfer here? Well, it is a 3-player tie. These are all 3B. If there was a 3A here, it'd be a 3A, and then we would take the 3Bs, right? Because that's the tie. If there was a 2C and a 3A, we would take the 2C and a 3A. If there was I don't know. So you get the picture, right? So but instead, we're going to click made for all these 3Bs. And then that's that pile done. The 4A doesn't get in because they are not in the top 2 golfers. So it's Tor Bingen, Todd Ahrens, Mackay Berry. They get in. So 5 golfers from that pile. All right. Hopefully not too many questions at this point. But again, it's like you would do this with the cards. Then you go to the second pile and roll. And there's 34. Okay, what's 34? We're going to draw 1 outstanding golfer. So the outstanding golfer, what you can think of as this is, okay, from the first 2 rounds, anybody that is outstanding is probably in the top 3. Something like that. Top 2 or 3. So they have a better chance of making Sunday because they're going to be in a smaller pile than these other guys. So it's going to be this 5A golfer is the draw that's going to be outstanding. I'm going to click the O. That's Max Elliott. Kind of a newer guy. And now we're going to take the top 3 remaining golfers. So The lowest number here is 2, and there's only one of them, so 2B is number 1, and we have 2 more that need to come. So that means we're going to look for a 3. We got it here. 3C, and then we have 4, and we have a bunch of 4Bs, so we're going to have to take them all. So we've got Ian Robards in 3C, and then we've got Jeremiah James, Daniel Kolachek, Denny Rowetter. So there we end up with 6 guys going in. So now I'm happy to see a 12, because hopefully this is going to be a smaller number coming out of this group. You want to be somewhere between 65 and 80 golfers when all this process is done to make the cut. Just makes things work better. So 12 is draw 1. It's going to be this 2B. Adam Trenchard, mainstay. And then the 1C right here is the only top golfer to make it through. That is Gareth Leonard. So we've got a 2A, we've got a 2B, a 2C. They all missed the cut. While from this other pile, we've got 4Bs making it. And on the top, that's just the way it goes. That's the way this process works. Now we're going to go to 13, morning pairing number 4. We rolled 13, so it's going to be, we're going to draw 2 golfers. So we're going to take this 6C guy. So you can see how you get kind of a randomization of this, where you get a couple guys, you have a chance where you're going to get some poorer golfers, ones that aren't as likely to be considered a top golfer, but they still have a chance. Just like in a regular golf tournament, you have that kind of mechanism. And then the top remaining golfer. We don't have a 1 in here. We have a 3A. We don't have a 2 either. So we have a 3A right here. He's going to make it through, and that's it. Heath Summers. He's a guy who's won tournaments. He may have even won the first season, if I recall correctly. So, okay, so 23. With these ones that have a low second number, that's not like the low second number means you're going to have, which is good. You want to have enough of those to counteract the ties. So 23, we're going to draw 1, which is 5A. Who is it going to be? It will be John Hudspeth. And then we're going to take the top 2, which is going to be a 3A and a 3C. So it's Dwayne Bradshaw. That's a custom card. And 3C is Benicio Vazquez. Okay, so 26. This is going to mean we're going to bring in at least 6 golfers out of this pile. So we're going to draw the top 4. And one thing that's interesting here is that because we're drawing in 4, this 1C, who's Justin Wallace, gets in there. So he would be a top golfer. He is the top golfer in this group, but because he's in the draw, that means that you're going to end up not only with this 2A right here, you're going to take 2 top golfers. It's going to be Martin Van Dyke, and then there's 1 more, and it turns out it's going to be all these 4Bs. So we're getting a big slew of golfers from this pile. Only 2 are missing the cut here. So it's we get Greer Copeland, we got Heike Harhula, Marus Hirano, and Rudy Wallace. Again, these are fictional golfers, so they may not be your thing. Hopefully they are if you're watching. So 13, again, this is going to be drawing 2, 4A, 4A. And then the top one is a 1B. That is Enrique Magallanes. We have 1 more pairing for the morning. It's a 26, so we're going to get a lot of golfers here again. We're going to draw 4. And then we're going to take the top 2. It's going to be a 4A and a 4 and 2 4Cs. So we can take a little status check here and see how many golfers we have coming in here so far. 37, that would be 74. So if we match the second, if we match the afternoon in terms of numbers, we should be in good shape. We just don't want, we prefer not to be up above 80 if we can help it. So we're going to go back to cut round here. We're going to go to the afternoon pairings. We've got afternoon 1. 44, we're going to draw 1. and then the top 4. So we're going to take the 4A, that is Ryan Bauer. And then we're going to take the top 4, right? Top 4. 1B, Shinji Kanishi. We have a 3C. That'll be the next one. Then we have a couple of 4s, and that will be at 4C and 4C. So Ernest Kamala was the 3C, and then we've got Peter Ladas and Dallas Downs. All right, so here comes a little bit of a monkey wrench in things. So the 11 is top golfer only, but we use the injury modification. So the draw golfer is going to get injured. So that's going to be this guy here. Derek Young is going to be injured, and how am I going to do this? Let's go down here. Equals rand between 1 and 6. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go, I'm going to shift, hit the right arrow and control R, and whatever this number is, and again we go in ascending order. 35. So the 35 is out till further notice with a hip injury. So Derek Young is going to have a hip injury, and so what we're going to do is we're going to come back over here to the TFNs 2020, and so Derek Young will not be able to try for his first major championship. UK, it's Derek Young, and Yanni Nijima will no longer be Stormy. And it was 35 as a hip injury. All right, so he's till further notice. So we have 5 running till further notices. And when we hit the next one, Marcus Simanowicz will no longer have extra control. Okay, so now we take the top golfer. 1C is Su Cheng Tien. That's the only other golfer out of this group that goes. Now we got 56. This is going to be a 6er. We're going to draw 1. It's going to be the top 5. So Marshall Weber, and then we're going to take a 1B. 2C, that's 2. 3C is 3. 4B, 4. And then 4C is 5. So there we go. So we 6 total. Soren Overgaard, John Westinghouse, Tord Thorson, Glenn Forsard, Dalton Solomon. So Overgaard and Westinghouse are both winners in this group. All right, 23 is the next afternoon 4. That's going to be draw 1. Jason Huffman, and then the top 2. Looks like a couple of 3As will get through. Going to be Braden LaSalle Jr. and Sonny Lemons. There's the guy that we made sure that he was in there because I was using the wrong list. Okay. 22, top 2 golfers only. That's going to be the 2C and the 3A. Those are the only 2 that make it through in this group. It's going to be Carson Rodell, multiple winner on tour, Tengen Haikichi. 46, we're going to have quite a few here. Let me draw 1, top 4. So draw 1. Look at this. We've got 3 1s in here. So Clive Kenny gets through on the draw. And then we got 4 top golfers. We've got a 1A. We've got a 1A. We've got a 1C. Aberley, McAdams, Emmerich. That's a pretty... So again, we've randomized this stuff. So this is just the way it comes up. And then we take one more. It's these 2, actually 2 more, because we're going to take the tied 3As. Josh New, Boyd Yeager. Okay, 14, draw 3, and then we get The another outstanding golfer, the top golfer, will be outstanding on a 34, or no, on a 14. It's going to be this 2C. Nick Yarlett, outstanding. He seems to get in a lot of Sunday pairings. 25, draw 3, 1, 2, 3. So I forgot to mention Service, Kenny Service, Tom Sudbury, Elaine Zelderloo were the draw golfers there. Hudson Parsons, Hal Marlowe, Gora Morisaki. He's a young stud from Japan. He gets through, and then we take 2 that are the top 2. So it's going to be the 2B and a couple of 3As, and that is those who make the cut. Gil Granbury, Franz Ockel, Myung Cho. So there we go. Let's take a look at tournament recap. We got 70 golfers. Perfect. Great. Excellent. Good shape. Pleased. Even. Feel free, if anybody's watching here, to comment. I am looking at the comments here. Looks like there's one person watching. Appreciate you hanging out with me. If anybody else comes in, I know that there are probably other live streams going on right now. It's the way it goes. Everybody, well, yeah, I'm running it here tonight. All right, I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to get a bottle of water. Be right back. Alright, well, we've been going about an hour, so I'm going to keep going here, and we're going to finish this off with the third round, and then we're going to set up our final round pairings. Well, threesomes. So, what do we do from here? Oh, let's put our injury here. It was Derek Young, right? Hip injury, TFN. Alright, so we're going to go to the third round. One more macro. This is paste the values for the third round, and I'm hoping that I've done everything. Yeah, nice. Perfect. So we had 70 golfers. We have 7 piles, but of course it's 68, so we should have 2 piles that have fewer, and we do. We have the first one and the fourth one. This one has been randomized where the absences end up. So I'm trying to simulate having piles. The other thing I could do here is I could make it where you get a random number of cards. It could be anywhere from we could do like 5 to 10, right? And that way it would be a little more. But this, I feel like this is pretty good. So we're going to go to this completing the third round. That side of the chart here, and we have our rolls. So 24 is going to be the first one for pile 1. So, okay, last time. Hey, Jason. Dwayne, I have yet to do red, white, and blue racing. Used to be more of a NASCAR fan than I am now. 80s, early 90s. Little bit into the 2000s, but not, wasn't a Earnhardt fan, but kind of like once that generation retired / passed away, in his case, just things became a lot less organic feeling. It felt a little more synthetic. A lot of young bucks that were kind of like, didn't think they would know where to take out the oil plug, let alone tinker a car. And I think all those guys seem pretty much like gearheads. So anyway, so let's just keep going here. Oh, I wanted to tell. So what would you do now? I'm trying to kind of like keep. So you, again, from the first 2 rounds, you're going to try and you're going to take the ones who make the cut and you put them into a pile. You take the ones who miss the cut, put them over into another pile. After you're all done, you take the pile of the guys who made the cut. Take the ones that missed the cut and you chuck them into the fireplace and set. No, you don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Don't listen to me. I'm being facetious. Put them into baggies or into a box, or stuff them in a closet and make them regret that they played so poorly. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. Take the ones that made the cut, shuffle them up again. Then you're going to take and also take the ones that are outstanding and set them aside. So again, that you see in the bottom right corner, there's an outstanding pile. Those are 2 guys who were outstanding. They get their own pile. Then you take all the other guys that made the cut, again, shuffle them up, break them into 7 piles this time. And that's what we see here. Again, try to make them relatively equal in size. You don't have to stress about it. Just do your best. It doesn't have to be like exact. And in this case, it isn't, because we don't have we don't have 70 golfers, right? Or we have 70, but 2 of them are outstanding. We don't have 72 in this case, so that all the piles would be perfectly. And even then, if you've got 10 in one and 8 in another and 12 in another, it doesn't make a difference. It might for the golfer who misses being in those final pairings, maybe. Of course, in this case, they're fictional. Even in the case of real golfers, they're cards. They don't really have feelings, right? Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. Sometimes they talk to me at night. They say, Earl, why can't we actually get this money you say that we won? You said that, I've got like $7 million. Why can't I actually collect that? And I said, well, for one thing, I don't have it. For another thing, die. No, I'm just kidding. I don't say that. Maybe I do, though. Maybe in my head. I'm not drinking. I should be, but I'm not. 24. We go to the completing the 3rd round. So what you would do is you have your 7 piles plus the outstanding. You take your 2 D6s and you go, bam, and it goes 24. Ooh, and we look on the 24. Top golfer contends and has got this little funky sign with a little, like, what is that? Like a lightning bolt with A. So I'm going to find here. So in the game, you have cards that have a star, which is A+, then A, then A-, all the way down to D-. You would line them up on your table. You find the top golfer. In this case, it's this guy, 1C, and he's going to be A. That is Justin Wallace. You put him on the A pile. You put him on the card that has an A, okay? And you would want to mark down on a sheet somewhere so that he's going to get a perk or an issue when you roll for that later. That's what that little symbol that's like kind of neon green and it has a little lightning bolt. That's what that is. Everybody else is going to finish with C+. So you take the rest of that pile and you put it over onto C+, and that means their score is going to be set by that particular pile. And so there's a way to figure those out that you will find later. But in my case, I take this and I have C+ as the group. So it's going to have all the rest of these guys here. The names will pop up and they're all going to have C+ here, except for Justin Wallace. He will be A. Any day now. There we go. See? How nice. Fictional baseball league with strat real players, of course. Oh, cool. Neat. It's fun to be creative. It's a lot of what I've done, I'm trying to you try to express yourself in a way that makes you feel like you're. Hey, we got 224s in a row here. Makes you feel like you're doing something different, trying to test systems, trying to break systems. So we're gonna have another top golfer here. This is going to be the 1B. That is going to be an A. You don't have to worry about what we're going to do with A or whatever. Right? So Enrique Magallanes, and now the rest are going to go. Oh, he also gets a perk or issue. And then we go ahead with the C plus there. And so all these guys are going to end with C plus, including Gareth Leonard, a 1C. So tough break for him. Pile 3 is 13, Draw Golfer. So again, we take the one right on top here. Draw Golfer is going to contend with A plus. So A plus is going to be better than A. And he will get a perk or issue. Denny Rowetter is going to be probably, well, he doesn't necessarily have to be in the lead, but he's going to be right up there. And he's going to have a perk or issue. So then the top golfer contends with A minus. So top one left is 1A. It's either Aberley or McAdams, right? So A minus, right? That's Trent McAdams. Now the rest of these guys are going to be in C. That's funny. This one is also a C plus roll. So all the rest of these guys are going into C plus. So now we go 11, another A plus. This is going to be the top golfer. The top golfer in this pile. Yeah, boy. I hate it when this happens. We've got a tie. We've got a couple of 2Cs. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to go make a rand between 0 and 1. And I'm going to go over 3. And whatever comes up for the first two here, if it's 0, it's a no. If it's a 1, it's a yes. We have 2 zeros. So in this case, I'm taking an executive order, and I'm going to go with these two here. So the first guy, the first 2C is going to get the A plus. Actually, you know what? No, we're not. We're going to say each of these guys get B plus. That's what we're supposed to do. We're gonna play it straight. So C plus and no, B plus. Excuse me. B plus, B plus. If they're good, they will get into those final pairings. And what was that? 11. Others can. So everybody's going to be in B plus. You get a car. You get a car. Everybody gets a car. So anyway, it's kind of unfortunate when that happens. Another 24 roll. Well, a lot of 24s in this. So that's again the top golfer contends with A. It's these two 1Cs, 1 and 0. We're going to go with this guy with the A. Su Cheng Tian. This 1C is going to be the B plus. It's probably Emmerich. Yep. Because I think we had hit all the other 1Cs. And then so Su Cheng gets a perk or issue. Emmerich doesn't. And then everybody else ends up C plus. So 3 of the same number in these rolls. Anyway, 45. Draw golfer A minus with a perk or issue. So it's going to be this 3A. Franz Hockel. Top golfer is going to be A. That's 1A. This is going to be Aberley. Right? Gotta be. I think he's the only other 1A in the deck. Yep. And then D plus finish for everybody else. .44. All golfers contend with B plus. So we're gonna have a bevy of B pluses, and some of them will be in the final pairings. And then 13. Draw golfer A plus with a perk or issue. Top golfer, which is going to be this one, is going to be A minus. So Nick Yarlett is the A plus, Max Elliott the A minus, and so there's all of our pairings. Or that's all of these third round. Let me see something here. Okay, we're good there. All right, so what are we going to do? So in this case, again, I'm going to take these off and speak straight to you. So you should have all of the golfers into a pile in these letter grades, okay? The guys who are in B minus and below, I would make sure that I keep them together in the piles with their letter rank. Make sure you don't mix them up. You want to keep them separated. You want to keep them in their individual piles. What I would do is I would take the letter grade, put it on top of the pile, and do the next one, and put them all into baggies. That's what I would do. Or many of them in the same bag. I might split them into two if there's a lot of golfers. Then A plus through B, you will follow tournament mode, which is you take your target score and then you roll the decider die. And that's what we're doing on this page here. You can see DD, there's trues and falses here. What this sheet here will give you, I'm going to try and show you. It's down here on this part down here. It tells you if your tournament score, in our case it was like 268 or something like that. So you go into the column that says 268. So A plus, you're going to roll the decider die for each guy. So in this case, and now I do need my reading glasses. Denny Rowetter has a true on the decider die, so he is going to be 201, as will Nick Yarlett. And so there you can see on the score, 201 for each of those. And then you do that for each pile. And then the golfers with the best scores will go into the pair. You know, you want about 12 in your final four pairings. What I have done here for the B pluses, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need 3 more golfers. I rolled the decider die for all the B pluses. I would also do it for the B's too, but we don't have any B's, just B pluses. And then anybody who is true, I take the top ranks. So Emmerich is going to be 1, Kanishi is going to be another, and Westinghouse will be the 3rd. They're all true. Okay? If we got to Heath Summers, he would not be because he's false. Okay? So those will be the other 3 guys. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to do the perks and issues. So I have some dice right here. I have D6s and then the decider die. So 1 and so category 1 is caddy, 2 is gain choice quality, but not till further notice. The 0 is the decider die. It has a chance to be further notice. So, but we aren't. So he's going to gain choice quality. We'll decide that in a bit. Okay, so now we're going to take what this converts to now, because I've just made a change on the sheet. 3 and 3. Start the round with die blue chips, so that's going to be 1 blue chip. Blue chips 1. Rowetter 3, 2. He's going to gain stormy quality. Su Cheng Tien 3, 1, 4. 3 and 1 is gain sunny. Hockle is going to be Are we getting the same rolls in a row? like my page is hanging up here. I feel like those numbers should be changing. And they're not. Oh, 6-1. I remember that's Gain Sunny. 6 and 1. That's also Gain Sunny down here. So we'll make sure to put Sucheng back in there. So that finally updated. Okay, and 6 and 1. That's another Gain Sunny. So Yarlet will have Sunny. Tien will have Sunny. Okay. All good. Choice quality. Let's take out Wallace's card. Oh, wrong. Wrong drawer. Justin Wallace. At one point I was doing a randomized thing to try and make the choice quality be a bit random. I do not know where that list went. Others have had the list, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make him, so his card is this: Bomber on the woods, Champion and Laser on the irons, Icon, Semi-Icon, Semi-Dynamic. I'm just going to go ahead and choose, we're going to choose Master for him. We're going to do something. I'm going to write it on here, Master. I prefer to not choose. I'd prefer it to be chosen for me by a die, but anyway, so that's everything. We're going to take a look right here at our final entries. Emmerich, Kanishi, Westinghouse, that's just what I said. Rowetter, Yarlet, Wallace will be the final group. The next to last, Magallanes, Tien, Aberle, McAdams, Ockel, Elliott, Emmerich, Kanishi, Westinghouse. And I will do that offline. Set that up and get it ready. And I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or which day it will be, but we will get that in here in the near future. So Rowetter, Yarlet -9, Magallanes, Wallace, Tien, they're all 2 back. Aberle 3 back. All right. So let me see here. Why is this being... Well, there we go. So, the PC goes a little wonky when we get a lot of stuff happening, so I don't need to read anything. Yeah, so I did this tonight because, as I said at the beginning of my broadcast, you know, I was watching a video and it sounded like, you know, we do these things willy-nilly without explaining anything to anybody. And, you know, we're just here to, like, I guess, make ourselves feel good and just do things, you know, I don't know. It's fine. I do the best I can here. You know, I'm trying to play a game, trying to get a result. I started doing this I mean, it's a bit, what's the word? Yeah, so it is self-gratifying. I mean, we're here, I'm here, I'm here to try to entertain. It doesn't always work out that way. I try to show you games that have brought me a lot of joy. Often means that when I play a game, show off a game, do something that is part of a project, that definitely there are times when it becomes very much focused on the result and not on the game itself. Part of it is many of these games I have put together videos where I'm quite detailed in talking about how the games work. Again, another reason I don't make a lot of those videos anymore is I feel like you have a good chance of doing it wrong and not necessarily sounding like a fool, just, I mean, it could be just making mistakes, forgetting things. I don't know. It's a lot of pressure. I would rather play the games. I try to do a variety of games. You know, I try not to hammer on a project. You know, I don't get on here every night at 8 o'clock and hammer on a project. You know, that's not what I'm doing. I can't get on here. I can't get on here every night, that's for sure. Having said that, what I would hope is, and I said this earlier in the video, I do my best to spend some time talking about little things. If there's anything you don't understand about the way the game is played, if you're here to learn the game, leave a comment. I'll do the best I can to address it in the comments. If I have to, I'll make a video explaining it better. Maybe that would be an easier way to kind of like tutorialize the game than to try and like, you know, when I do a tutorial, I'm going to come up with a PowerPoint presentation. Just, it takes away time from family, from doing a project that is going to take me a long time, and it's like, so every minute that I don't spend doing something like that, and I spend trying to come up with an aesthetically pleasing and factually accurate presentation for you, you know, and it's, the thing is that it's helpful, and I know it's helpful, but you know, the thing about it is, you know, I'll go in and watch, you know, I'll look at RJL's views, and then I'll look at somebody's views who's a computer guy, does computer games. They're basically the same. They're not that different. Nobody in this genre is getting 150,000 views. If you're thinking about starting a channel and you think you're going to be the one, you're cool to do that. You're fine to think that. It's great to have aspirations and hopes, and you know, I'll tell you what, if you are super you know, if you're super engaging, if you're entertaining, if you're funny, if you can pull, you know, maybe that would be the one thing that would really like open this all up to a lot more people. Maybe you'd have a lot of the younger kids who are on here, on YouTube, on Twitch, on other things, you know, looking at video games. Maybe if there was somebody who, you know, maybe if there was the thing is, they probably have to be like a 20-year-old, right? Probably, because I think like the young kids, which is a big user group on YouTube, they aren't going to look up to somebody like me, probably. They might, probably not. I kind of look, you know, I'm a boomer, right? I'm you know, Gen X, really. I'm like at the very front end of the Gen X movement. I could be a boomer. My kids would call me a boomer. You know, it's like I'm not cool. So it makes it really tough, right? So nobody is very, nobody is going to be like, who, I don't know what their names are. I don't know. It's been so long. I don't even know who the hot gamers are on this platform or anything, but we're not there. And so if I'm going to editorialize and say, oh, well, this is what you need to do, I'm just not going to do that. Because, well, I am going to say, I think it's all about, a lot of it's about personality. And, a lot of those guys, they could put a video game where they are literally watching grass grow, and those kids are going to watch it because they're entertained by that. They adore these kids. They look up to them. They think they're funny. They are pretty much like harebrained weirdos. No offense to those kids. It's okay. But there's a reason that a lot of youth look up to them. It's because they have a personality, and there's basically like kind of a captive audience there. Those kids have been trained to think, oh, you know what? Those guys are cool. Maybe that can be me someday. And, so these channels here, we make a video. You guys watch them. I appreciate everybody who watches these videos. I know that sometimes they can be pretty mundane. They can lack enthusiasm at times. They can lack engagement. They can lack a real sense of humor. I don't think dad joke puns are what people are looking for. They might be. You guys might. You guys, I think a lot of the people who watch these videos are in the same like age demographic as me, or pretty, let's say within maybe 20 years to the north, maybe 5 to 10 years to the south, right? Dad jokes, because most of us are probably dads, right? We might chuckle or snort, and maybe one of you guys will take that to your wife, and she'll like groan, or your kids, and they'll be like, Dad, leave me alone. I want to go watch, whoever those guys are. Well, that's great. So, so I'm not here trying to like blast anybody, or this isn't necessarily because I'm like angry about anything, or like miffed, or think that. I mean, the video that I watched, I'd say I agreed with probably a lot of it. It's just, we need to have realistic goals here. And my realistic goal is, I'm going to try to show you a game. I'm going to be willing to respond to your comment if you are watching the game be played and you see something that you don't understand. Does that mean that I'm going to go through and wade through every game mechanic? I just can't do that. I don't have 4 hours in a night. But I'm hoping that we can do a little bit of that. When it's something that's a little bit, let's say rare, or, the very routine things. The putting mechanism, which is right up here. I put that up there. It's not too difficult, to pick up on that as we go. You let's say you take, where is it? This one right up here. You have a double difficult, let's say you have a difficult putt for birdie, right? So that's a 1. You miss it. You try to make that, you miss it. So then you move down 1. You go down here to moderate. And so the moderate one, that's a moderate par. That's a 1 to 5. You miss that. So then you go down 1. It's an easy putt for bogey. That's the high roll, which I have listed down there, 6-6 miss. So I'm hoping that the routine stuff becomes routine for those of you who are watching. And so that way we can, maybe there's times when we use a red we play a red chip and say, we're gonna do like the black six. What's the black six? Okay, well let's talk about that a little bit. So that's what we do. That's what I do. I try my best. I've developed tools to help me. It's not really, I hate to say it, the tools that I've developed here, yeah, it does help a little bit of the aesthetics, but it's really just, it's meant to be time savers for me. The thing about History Maker Golf Tournament mode, when you're done with the tournament, so we're going to put these 12 golfers out here, right? We're going to roll them off. They're going to come up with scores. You're going to see the leaderboard evolve, and you're going to do this with those cards. So also in the cards with those little letter grades, you have cards that have you use the star for the leader, or the 2 leaders or 3 leaders or whatever it is. And then you've got 1 stroke back, 2 strokes back, 3 strokes back, all the way to 6. You set up a leaderboard. And then as you roll off the pairings, and what you're going to do is you're going to set up the ones lowest on the leaderboard out of your 12. So in this case, it would be Emmerich, Kanishi, and Westinghouse. You're going to put them as the first group through. Okay? In theory, there are all those other golfers that made the cut that are going to also be going through, but we're only watching those golfers. This is like a television broadcast, and so we're really focused on just the leaderboard. And so you're going to take them and you're going to play those guys on 1. Then you're going to play them on 2, but then you're going to take the next 3. McAdams, Hockle, Elliott probably are the next 3. You're going to play them on 1. I've shown this on this channel like scads of times, but what you'll do is you'll move the cards on the leaderboard as it goes. So you have to kind of pay attention. So what you want to do is you want to use one of the score sheets. And the score sheet's nice because it's set up. Al Wilson, I think he's the one that designed those that are really good for tournament mode. So you can know which guys you need to use for each group, but you're going to have the golfers on that leaderboard that's on your tabletop, and you move those around. As a guy gets a birdie, you move him closer to the leader. If the leader bogeys, you move him 1 closer to the pack, and you move everybody else 1 closer to him. But for me, this saves me a lot of time. But see, I was going to say, but then when you're all done with all of that, and you have your winner, you still have these guys who are, and it all depends on how deep in the stats you want to dig, right? But probably you're going to want to take care of the guys who were in the final 2 rounds. And so they have these like grades like the C pluses and the D pluses and other ones probably. You have to assign them scores, and you're going to use what it says in the tournament mode document and in the rules to calculate up those scores. You're going to use their tournament rating. Really, the number in the tournament rating is what you use, plus the target score, plus it might just be those 2 things. I use a little bit of a random number factor to kind of try and differentiate it a little bit, but not too much. And then actually where I use the random number is because in mine I have a lot more data on. I also keep track of the stroke, the scoring average, so basically strokes per round. So then what I have to do is I have to have a cut. Players that miss the cut, they need to have scores that are input for them. And so I have a little mechanism for that. I got to stand up. My rear end is falling asleep. So anyway, these are the types of things that, for me, these spreadsheets do all that calculation. You have to do it manually, or you could try and set up your own. Unfortunately, I can't really gift this stuff out because there's too many bugs in it. As much as I'd love to be able to help people out with that, it's too buggy, and I just do the best I can. But anyway. Well, you know, Jason, the thing is that I'd like them. I hope that I show enough. I hope I show enough of the like coding or like putting the sheets together, enough of the formulas that you guys can start to do some of this on your own, and it may not be as sophisticated or whatever. And again, I'm not saying, I don't want to say sophisticated just because I'm not like trying here to like pat myself on the back or turn myself into some kind of like genius. I don't develop Excel or Google Sheets or whatever else. Microsoft. I'm not a developer. I don't know how those things work. I'm a fairly proficient user, and I've basically trial and errored myself to the point where I have tools that work. And again, they're for my, I mean, a lot of it I think benefits the videos, but it's mostly to try and like streamline my own stuff. I want to get back to playing some strat football. The tool that I have there is pretty nice. The stat calculations are really helpful for me. There is like a defensive coordinator in there. It's just I'm not completely thrilled with it, but it's pretty decent. I guess what my little soliloquy here is meant to be before I shut off here is just to say, I don't think any of us who make videos like this are here doing it to try and I don't know. I've really thought about this for a couple days now. Like, we're just trying to put out something that's a good product, right? And we're doing the best we can in a genre that is extremely unlikely to lead to some kind of a I mentioned, was it Rich Strike? Is that the one the Kentucky Derby? Like, you were not going to have this long shot probably pick up and be like, there was a point in time back when I started making these videos where I thought to myself, ooh boy, if I have like a no-hitter or something, or a perfect game and it's on video, maybe that will be like, maybe ESPN will pick it up and like, it'll be like, oh, look at this. You had did I really? I don't know if I thought that or not, but it could very well be, or something as silly as that. You could roll 10 perfect games on your tabletop, and ESPN is going to do what ESPN does. It's going to show basketball and baseball and college softball and hockey and Joe Buck and whoever that other dude was talking about golf and like interviewing Jim Nance. Ugh. I watched a little bit of that. It was just cringy. So, I'm just trying to make videos that serve the end, which I hope is to get a couple. And I think that at least with History Maker Golf, a few people have taken the jump into this game because of this going into the tail end of the third season of this project. I think there are quite a few who have been inspired enough to start projects, buy the game, start projects, and it makes me happy because it's a good game, and I think that it does a pretty good job of acquitting what I've done to at least say, there are, do I go quick when we go in the final round? Yeah, I'm probably flying, and there's a lot of rolls that maybe don't even make any sense to people. So, doing the best I can. So anyway, that's about it for this. I know that I'm like behind here, some of it. Again, it's so stinking hot in the eastern seaboard right now. It's scorching. I think it was up around 97, 98 today where I live. So it's just, and then you've got the PGA Championship Tulsa. It's like 60, struggling to get in the 60s. So can't wait for that weather to get here. But my house, I must need work on my HVAC or whatever, because it's not cutting it. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. I hope I've done some kind of good showing you guys the first 3 rounds of this tournament. One thing I'd like to do before I hang it up here, one moment. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but I'm going to try. Downloads, maybe? That folder is empty. Mr. Maker Golf. Man, this thing is slow. If Royal St. George's was made in the prior to the last year, the ladies tour, there are some sets that have been developed, and but it is kind of an underrepresented segment of golfers. Excel is taking a while to load up here. I have a little chart here. Gideon Eames puts together the full chart and keeps it like what do you call that? My mind is fried right now. Curate. That's what I'm thinking of. So Royal St. George's. So it's Greg Nolan put that one together. So I'm going to be using his. I need to. I haven't printed it out yet, but I'm going to be using his adaptation of Royal St. George's when I get around to playing it. So that's that. We're going to close it off here. Shut her down. So anyway, thanks Jason and Dwayne for hanging out here and listening to me kind of like ramble on for a while. And we'll see you back here for the final round of this. Apologies for things jumping around here if they are. My PC is not having a good time right now. But anyway, good night everybody. Hope you have a good evening and see you soon back here for some golf.